Part 48. Rebirth of a Farming Wife. Author, TNNI. Chapter 475. When they left the village, Mr. Su specially sent someone to watch in the dark to see if those suspicious people were really coming for them. Sure enough, not long after their carriage left, someone followed them furtively. Later, someone left during the period, seemingly to report a message. Because they didn't know the details of those people, the people sent by Mr. Su in the dark didn't dare to do anything without permission, so they had to go and report it to Mr. Su immediately. Master, could these people be sent by the imperial court to follow us so secretly? I'm afraid they have ulterior motives. What should we do? Mrs. Su said worriedly after hearing this. Isn't she greedy for life or afraid of death? A courageous and weak woman, but the situation is different now. She is okay. Even if she is caught by the court, it will not matter. At worst, she will risk her life and not let others have the opportunity to threaten the people she cares about, but her daughter, my grandson, and I are with them. Mr. Su thought so. His wife, daughter, and grandson were all with him, but it was different from when he was running around outside. At that time, he could deal with danger calmly, but this time it was different. He couldn't let his old wife and daughter something happen to my grandson. Someone, go get the lady over. Mr. Su thought for a while and finally called his daughter over. Now that his daughter is married, although she is still his own daughter, she is also the head wife of the Han family. There are some things that he cannot decide on his daughter's behalf. The daughter still needs to make her own decisions, not to mention my daughter is becoming more sensible and smarter, and may have good ideas. Dad, do you have something to do with me? Su Wenyu was worried about those people who were acting suspiciously, but she didn't hide it on her face. Daughter, come here. Dad has something to discuss with you, Mr. Su said, and told Su Wenyu what he had sent to find out. Those people are indeed coming for us. I think they are probably people sent by the imperial court. Yesterday, my husband just sent me a letter. Before I had time to tell you, my husband and the others defeated the many with less this time. They defeated the imperial army. The imperial court suffered a loss at the hands of the Xianggong. I am afraid that they were trying to deal with the Xianggong, but they couldn't find a way, so they decided to target us. Although Su Wenyu was just guessing, there was a vague feeling in her heart. I think that's the truth of the matter. Really? I heard that the imperial court sent an army of 30,000 people. The total strength of the lord and son-in-law is only 10,000. There is a huge disparity in strength between the two sides. I was worried at first, but I didn't expect that the son-in-law is so powerful that he can actually do it with a small amount of troops. Shenduo, who defeated the army sent by the imperial court under such circumstances, is indeed my good son-in-law. I said your grandfather's vision cannot be wrong, how could he choose a bad grandson-in-law? When Mr. Su heard that Han Yu had led his troops to victory, he beamed with joy. However, after he was happy, he began to worry. If this was the case, his daughter's guess was probably not wrong. He could not think of anyone other than people from the imperial court who would deal with him at this time. They, especially the example of the Bayan Marquis mansion, are in front of them. Wang Mang's traitor is so cunning and despicable, and the people under his command will not be much better. My daughter is right. They can't win against your son-in-law. They can't make a move. You and your child are your son-in-law's weaknesses. They probably want to catch you mother and son to threaten your son-in-law. Mrs. Su's expression changed as soon as she heard Master Su's words. Well, Master, what should we do? You should think of a way quickly. You must not let anything happen to Yuanyang and the children. Even if you risk my life, you can't do anything. Keep your daughter and children safe. It goes without saying that when my son-in-law entrusted my daughter to me, I promised to protect the safety of their mother and son. Besides, these are also my daughter and grandson. Can I watch something happen to them? Mr. Su, he said without thinking, but it's easier said than done, not to mention those people's targets are probably their own daughters, and they won't let their daughters go even if they let anyone else go, so they have to think of a proper way. Su Wenyu was calmer than anyone expected at this time. Although she was worried in her heart, she was not afraid. This was not the time to be afraid. As a mother, you are strong. She had to ensure the safety of her children even if she risked her life. As for her parents, it is absolutely impossible for Su Wenyu to let Mr. Su and his wife sacrifice for her and their children. They were the ones she felt most sorry for in her previous life. After finally starting over, she still couldn't repay her, so how could she let anything happen to them? However, although Su Wenyu thought so in her heart, she did not show it. She could only secretly plan and think of a way, otherwise her parents would not be willing to notice her thoughts. Father and mother, don't worry. Since they haven't taken action yet and are just watching secretly, it means that they were not sure of our identity before. We still have time to make arrangements. As long as we arrange it well, we will wait until the sister-in-law's mother's house. As soon as our rescue team arrives, we'll be safe. The purpose of Su Wenyu's trip was to go to Feng Ruolin's natal family, the Feng family, to escape. As Feng Ruolin's natal family, the Feng family was related by marriage to the Su family, and they were trustworthy people. Moreover, the Feng family was trustworthy. My home is in the rivers and lakes, and it is far away. The court's hand cannot reach this far, so it is safer than anywhere else. If it hadn't been delayed by the heavy rain for so many days, they would have already reached the Feng family's sphere of influence. After Master Su learned that there were suspicious people inquiring about them, out of caution, he immediately sent someone went to the Feng family to ask for help. They should have arrived at the Feng family by now. I hope the Feng family can arrive in time before those people take action. I wonder if the people from the Feng family are already on the road. According to the time, they should be on their way here. However, we cannot completely rely on the Feng family. We still have to think of ways to deal with it. Su Wenyu did not distrust the Feng family, but her experiences in 2 lifetimes taught her a truth: it is better to rely on yourself than on others. The court knows the relationship between the Su family and the Feng family, so they may not be unprepared. If they only put their hopes on the Feng family, and the Feng family cannot arrive by then they will have no other way. Well, let's pretend to build a plank road but sneak into Chenkang. Su Wenyu suddenly had an idea and whispered her plan to Master Su and Madame Su. Will this work? No, I'm worried. How about you take the children and leave in disguise, and your father and I will divert the enemy's attention. Yes, you are the children's biological mother. The children can leave no one but you. It's settled. Let your mother and I divert the enemy, and you just take care of the children and leave. When Master Su and Madame Su heard Su Wenyu's plan, they had the same reaction at the first time. They were unwilling to let their daughter take the risk to divert the enemy. Su Wenyu had expected that her parents would react like this. Rebirth of a Farming Wife. Author, TNNI. Chapter 476. But, there was a certain kind of determination in Su Wenyu's eyes, and there was a look of hesitation on her face. What her parents said made sense, but the children couldn't live without her, but on one side was her child, and on the other was herself. My parents, this decision is really difficult to make, and they are a little hesitant. Daughter, Dad knows that you are worried about the safety of me and your mother, and want to lure away the enemy alone, but you also have to believe in your dad. Your dad and I have been doing business for so many years, running around outside, and I have never encountered any dangers. In the end, everything is saved. Dad has his own way to deal with those people and get away safely with your mother. Just protect yourself and your children and don't distract us. Mr. Su said it very relaxedly, as if he really had an idea to escape. In fact, he was already prepared to go all out. Although he would encounter dangers when doing business, such dangers were not compared with the current situation. This time he came to it's the people of the imperial court who can't compete with him. It would be better if he can get away with it, but if he can't, it would be better. Mr. Su glanced at the old wife beside him vaguely. When he was young and passionate, he made a promise to share life and death with his wife through thick and thin. Now he has fulfilled his vow. In fact, Mr. Su also thought about letting his old wife and daughter leave together in disguise. But in this way, I'm afraid he won't be able to hide it from those who are following him secretly. Next time, his daughter will definitely see something from his actions, and she won't agree to what he did, not to mention that he understands his wife's thoughts. Mrs. Su and Mr. Su looked at each other. Over the years, the husband and wife had a tacit understanding, and they also persuaded their daughter, yes, Yueniang, you heard your father right. There are so many dangers outside your father. Come over, this little difficulty is nothing. The main thing is the safety of you and the children. If you and the children are good, we can deal with those people without any scruples, and the chance of winning will be greater. Su Wenyu was still a little worried and looked at Mr. Su and his wife with a little helplessness, but parents, Okay, Yueniang, be obedient. This is not the time to be willful. Listen to me and your mother. I made this arrangement just in case. The people from the Feng family are already on the way. Maybe they won't do it before those people do it. The family is here, you don't have to worry too much, just do as I arranged, Mr. Su said, his tone already made up. Seeing Master Su and his wife acting like this, Su Wenyu had no choice but to nod reluctantly, and warned uneasily, Father and Mother, you must pay attention to safety. We all need to be well. Don't worry, we will all be fine and take care of ourselves and our children. Mrs. Su knew that this time was dangerous and might be a farewell. At this time, she had thousands of words in her heart, but she couldn't let her daughter see the clues. In the end, she just turned into this one sentence contains deep maternal love. Su Wenyu's eyes were sparkling. Although Mrs. Su didn't say a lot of words, she already understood it, but she didn't say much. She just nodded and looked at Mrs. Su. Her eyes also contained many things, and she became more determined in her heart. Decide. How could she let her parents get into trouble when they treated her like this? Although doing so might separate them and leave the children without a mother, she had to do this. She knew what kind of path this was going to take, and in her heart but there was no fear or hesitation, just because this was what she should do. For the first time, she discovered that she could be so brave and not afraid of death. The carriage traveled according to the original route, but there seemed to be some malfunction along the way, so it stayed for a while before continuing, and nothing seemed out of the ordinary. The people who were following secretly didn't know that Mr. Su and the others had noticed it, so they didn't dare to follow too closely. Although they had some doubts, they did not find anything after checking, so they did not focus on this little thing anymore. For small exceptions, the most important thing they need to keep an eye on is the people on the carriage, and they will take action as soon as the manpower arrives. The news has come back from above. When will the people arrive? Seeing that we are getting closer and closer to the Feng family's sphere of influence, we have to take action now, otherwise we will alert the people of the Feng family. I'm afraid it won't be so easy. The leader of these people said with some worry that they were very wary of the power of the Feng family. Although there were a lot of people coming this time, the strong dragons could not defeat the local snakes. It was also because the news from above came too late. Mrs. Han, mother and son, they were left with so many geniuses to chase, but Mr. Su was cunning and kept hiding his whereabouts. They finally found him at this time, and if it had been a few days later, the mission would have failed. As for Han Yu, he always had an uneasy feeling in his heart these days, but he couldn't find the reason. After asking for news from the secret guard, he learned that his wife and children were safe, and his worries disappeared a little. Sir, I just got the news. I am afraid that the other side has already heard about the departure of the madam and the young master. When Miss Chen came to discuss the matter with the Lord, she was bumped into by Lu Xiuling and was tricked. The secret guard looked a little ashamed. Reporting to Han Yu, they did not expect to encounter such a situation, but no matter what, if the matter was not done well, it would be dereliction of duty. Although Han Yu had expected it, he still looked a little unhappy. This stupid woman can't be any more stupid. Han Yu finally had a better impression of Chen Li, but something like this happened. This woman really shouldn't be looked down upon. The secret guard lowered his head when he saw his master gritting his teeth. They had already heard of Miss Chen's name. Naturally, Han Yu would not let Chen Li know about this news, but Chen Li often visited Lu Xiu, so it was inevitable that he would know some news. Lu Xiu also trusted Chen Li more and more, and he did not deliberately hide many things. Han Yu couldn't hide the fact that he arranged for his wife and son to leave from Lu Xiu. Although he knew that Chen Li also knew about it, he thought it was no big deal. However, he overestimated the IQ of this stupid woman and was easily tricked by Lu Quan. Chen Li also knew that Lu Quan was a spy. What should he say? However, things have come to this point. At this time, Han Yu couldn't go to Chen Li for trouble. Although this woman is a little stupid, she is still very useful in some aspects. Although she usually does many unorthodox things, she has a lot of novel ideas in her mind. Sometimes one or two ideas can inspire him. So whether it is for Lu Xiu's face or other reasons, he had to let this anger go first. However, although Han Yu thought it through, he couldn't help but scold the stupid woman again. This news can't be concealed for too long. Madam and others haven't shown up for a long time. I'm afraid someone has already become suspicious, which is why today's incident happened. Lu Quan deliberately tricked Miss Chen. What I want to know most now is how Lu Quan spread the news. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Rebirth of a Farming Wife. Author, Tianni. Chapter 477. Han Yu quickly adjusted his mood. There is no point in blaming Chen Li now. That woman is just stupid. She probably didn't mean it. She should put the matter where it deserves the most attention. This Lu Quan is indeed a character. If he continues to do this, he was able to find loopholes under strict scrutiny, and when something happened, he was still able to avoid being caught. Fortunately, he had discovered it early, otherwise it would have been a big disaster. My subordinate neglected his duty. When he mentioned this, the secret guard looked ashamed and apologized to Han Yu. They had tried their best and stared at Lu Quan almost without blinking, but they still couldn't see anything. Something went wrong, but the news about Lu Quan did get out. Forget it, you go down first, I'll think about it. Han Yu rubbed his forehead. Although he was full of wisdom, he was not omnipotent. For example, in the case of Lu Quan, he was really helpless. They knew clearly what Lu Quan had done and knew that he was a spy and traitor, but they could not do anything to him. Although the situation today was caused by Lu Xiu's soft-heartedness and ill-informed intervention. And why did Lu Quan deliberately approach him and inquire about his wife and children? Han Yu suddenly thought of something, his face suddenly became ugly, and his whole body was filled with coldness. Those people were really despicable. On the battlefield he couldn't get any advantage on the battlefield, so he actually took advantage of his wife and children. When Han Yu thought about it, things on the battlefield really had nothing to do with women and children. After all, Han Yu is still young now. Although he has a lot of experience, just like Lu Xiu's soft-heartedness, Han Yu also has some shortcomings. After all, he has not yet grown into the prime minister with unparalleled intelligence and wisdom in his previous life, so after knowing I didn't think of this news immediately, but then I suddenly realized that the reason why I had arranged for my wife and children to leave before was just because I was afraid that their side would be defeated and the war would be chaotic and my wife and children would be affected. It was just out of caution. Call Chi-yun over immediately. Han Yu almost suppressed the worry and panic in his heart and ordered immediately. Everyone knew how much he valued his wife, and there was no way to hide such a thing. No wonder those people were at their wits' end. Under the circumstances, he decided to focus on his wife and children. He said that the people in the court had been too quiet during this period. He thought they were planning some big plan, but it turned out to be such a despicable idea. From a rational point of view, it is quite possible that Han Yu knew that his wife was safe. After all, it was only then that they learned about the absence of his wife's child. It would take time to find someone. By then, his wife might have entered the Feng family's influence scope. Furthermore, because he valued his wife and children, although Han Yu did not expect that the people in the imperial court would be so mean, he arranged a lot of people to protect his wife and children, and also sent Qi Shen, who was more capable around him, and his father-in-law to take care of him. Old Jianghu, rich in experience, will inevitably be wary. It's just that reason is reason. When a person cares about something to a certain extent, it can't be controlled by reason. Even if he knew that his wife and children were more likely to be safe, Han Yu was still a little panicked. There can't be even a trace of risk in things. Chi-yun was busy with the tasks assigned by Han Yu at this time. Han Yu suddenly called him over, thinking that something big had happened, but he heard that his master wanted to send him to protect his mistress, and he didn't agree with it. After all, Chi-yun was not a secret guard who had been trained since he was a child. Chi-yun still had the same background. He could not obey Han Yu's decisions without any thought or opinion like other secret guards, and would even question him when he thought he was wrong. However, Han Yu had already understood this when he accepted the help of several of them, and it was conniving to a certain extent, as long as it did not affect his work. "Master, what happened?" Madam is accompanied by Qi Shen. Although Qi Shen is young, he is very reliable in his work. He is also quite alert and cautious. His martial arts are also very good. With him by Madam's side, Madam is safe. It should be okay. Now, Master, you are in need of manpower. Mo has gone to Chang'an again. If I go to Madam's place again, there will be even fewer people to serve Master. Chi-yun was deeply grateful and respectful to Han Yu, who killed the bandit leader to avenge them, and rescued and took them in during times of crisis. Moreover, several of his brothers had sworn allegiance to Han Yu, so under Han Yu such questions are only raised when given orders, mostly out of loyalty. It makes sense for me to let you go. The people over there were defeated on the battlefield, and they actually had the idea of my wife and children. Lu Quan got the news from Chen Li that my wife and children were not in the house. Maybe they will know it soon, or even already know the news. At this time, they must have sent people to intercept, hoping to catch the madam and the child as a threat to me. Although Qi Shen is following the madam, but that's it. Since the people around me have made such an idea, they must have mobilized a lot of strength and are determined to win. I'm afraid Qi Shen can't handle it alone, so you must find the wife and children before them and protect their safety. Only the wife and children. Once I'm safe, I can calm down and do things, and that's the most important thing. Han Yu was always a little more patient with Mo and the others, and because he knew they were loyal, he rarely explained a few more words to let Chi-yun know the importance of the matter. Chi-yun did not expect that the matter would be so serious. Hearing what Han Yu said, his face became solemn. "Master, don't worry, my subordinates will rush over immediately to protect the safety of my wife and children." After sending Chi-yun out, Han Yu still couldn't rest assured, fearing that Chi-yun wouldn't arrive in time. He couldn't rest assured until he was completely sure of the safety of his wife and children. Moreover, the bad premonition had not diminished recently, and Han Yu was afraid that it would come true for his wife and children. Hiding in the dark, watching those people follow the carriage, Su Wenyu saw that those people didn't notice and was indeed safe, so she took the child out of the cave in the jungle. It rained heavily in the past few days, and it was very wet and muddy everywhere. This cave was dug temporarily to hide, and there were no other conditions. When Su Wenyu and the confidant she brought out with the child, they were covered with mud and looked dirty, but they didn't care about it at this time. Qi Shen, come out, Su Wenyu said to the dark. No one else on the road knew, including Mr. Su and his wife, but Han Yu had informed her in advance, so she always knew that Qi Shen was protecting them in the dark. Rebirth of a Farming Wife. Author, Tianni. Chapter 478. It is precisely because of this that Su Wenyu dared to take such a risk and make such a decision. She was also sure to ensure the safety of her children. She could risk her own life, but she would not risk the safety of her children. The reason why Master Su and his wife were so it is easy to believe her daughter's plan, and it is also for this reason that she knows how much her daughter cares about her children. Kiluo and others were surprised when they heard Su Wenyu's words. However, as Su Wenyu's confidants, they all had extraordinary qualities and were able to be kept by Su Wenyu's side at such a critical moment, so it was only a momentary accident. They quickly returned to normal, even when they saw a man in black suddenly appear in front of them, as if he appeared out of thin air. Qi Shen has met Madam. Qi Shen, Han Yu must have ordered you when he sent you here. From now on, you obey my orders. Su Wenyu left no room for negotiation. Her tone was completely commanding at this moment, and her expression was actually somewhat similar to Han Yu's. Yes, I will follow my wife's orders. Qi Shen naturally understood what Su Wenyu meant. He did not dare to be vague at such a critical moment. Originally, he had indeed received the order from his master to protect his mistress and obey her orders. Although the master had previously, he felt a little reluctant when he gave the order. Su Wenyu nodded, feeling satisfied with Qi Shen's attitude in her heart. She knew that Han Yu had capable people, and maybe people had their own personalities. What's more, Han Yu's usual care and respect for her, in this patriarchal era, many people don't agree with her very much. They think she is not very virtuous and jealous. She is even suspected of dragging Han Yu down. They also think that people who do big things should not behave like children, so it is inevitable that there are so many people. Someone who was loyal to Han Yu but had problems with her. The four people from Zimo and Su Wenyu also have contact with each other on weekdays. These people have such backgrounds, were conquered by Han Yu, and are loyal to Han Yu, so their attitude towards her may not be the same. Women's sixth sense is very intuitive. Although Zimo and the others did not show it, Su Wenyu could still feel that they were disapproving of her as the mistress, so no matter what Qi Shen thought in his heart, Su Wenyu was satisfied with such an attitude on his face. Mom, although Brother Xing is a child, his mind is mature. He has long noticed that there is something wrong with his mother's behavior. Seeing Su Wenyu's behavior, he pulled Su Wenyu's hand uneasily and called Su Wenyu worriedly. Su Wenyu felt sad when she saw Brother Xing like this, and then looked at the other two children who were also staring at her with dark eyes. Thinking of that possibility, her heart was full of reluctance, but there was nothing she could do about it no matter how reluctant she was. She watched helplessly as her parents took risks for her, possibly even losing their lives as a result. She is not the ignorant Su Wenyu in her previous life. She would not be so naive as to believe what her parents said. Under such circumstances, in order to threaten Han Yu, the people in the court must have sent many people to arrest their mother and son. The situation was completely different. It was so easy to escape from danger. Her parents only said that to reassure her. They were afraid that they had thoughts of death, in order to protect the safety of her unfilial daughter and grandson. Brother Xing, you are the most sensible. Take good care of your brothers and sisters and listen to Uncle Kishan and Aunt Kilugo. Brother Chan, sister you also have to listen to my brother and don't make any noise, you know, Suwenayu said with tears in her eyes, holding back the sadness and reluctance on her face. She just looked gentle. Admonishment. Mom, what are you going to do? Aren't you going to come with us? Brother Singh had an unpleasant premonition in his heart, knowing that his mother might have made some decision that he could not accept, so he asked eagerly. Some bad people are targeting us. Your grandparents are in danger now to protect us. Mom must save your grandparents. You guys should be good. Uncle Kiun and Aunt Kilugo will take you to a safe place and wait for Mom to save you. Grandpa and Grandma will come to meet you again, Suwenayu explained with a smile. Chishen and Kilugo had already foreseen something from Suwenayu's actions. After hearing Suwenayu's words, they were all worried and surprised. They originally thought that Madam was for the sake of the child, so they let Master Su and his wife take the risk. Unexpectedly, Madam turned out to be they have other plans. They are all smart people and can almost guess Suwenayu's intentions and next steps. Mom, not only the adults present, Brother Singh also understood his mother's decision after listening to Suwenayu's words. With tears in his eyes, he wanted to stop his mother and didn't want her to take risks, but that was him. His grandparents are his mother's biological parents. If his mother wants to do what she should do as a daughter, how can he stop her? What's more, these things are not something that a child like him can understand. He is powerless to stop anything. Even if he cries and disagrees, it is just causing trouble for his mother. Mom, don't worry, I will take good care of myself and my brothers and sisters. Mom must come back safely. We are all waiting for you, Brother Singh said while wiping away tears. At this time, all he could do was take care of himself. He and his brothers and sisters made my mother feel at ease. Suwenayu looked at Brother Singh with relief. With a son like this, she could feel at ease even if it was true this time. However, this was not the time for children to love each other. Although the enemy had not noticed it, danger could come at any time, not to mention the parents. She was always in danger, and she had to act quickly. Suwenayu was cruel and refused to look at the three children. Instead, she turned to look at Chishen and Chilugo. Chishen and Chilugo, you are the people I trust the most. I leave the safety of the three children to you. It's important to keep them safe. Madam, don't worry. Even if we lose our own lives, we will not let the two young masters and young ladies have any mishaps, Kilugo swore solemnly. Chishen did not agree immediately. Since he knew Suwenayu's plan, he understood the danger even more. No one knew how much the master cared about the lady better than them. In the master's heart, even the three children were not as important as the lady. If something happened to the lady, he dared not imagine what the master would do. Madam, you can't be without protection. The two young masters and young ladies are protected by Kilugo and others, and you have led those people away. They should be safe. I will stay with you. The master has ordered that you must be guaranteed no matter what. Suwenayu interrupted Chishen before he finished speaking. Don't persuade me, I have made up my mind. You just need to follow my decision. The children are my life. I can't let them take even the slightest risk. Kilugo alone is not enough to protect them. But Madam, Kilugo actually agreed with Chishen's idea. Madam's approach was extremely dangerous. If there was no one around to protect her. Rebirth of a Farming Wife. Author, Tian. Chapter 479. My skills are not as good as Chishen's. Why don't I let Chishen protect the young master and my lady? I will protect my wife. Kilugo thought about it. She knew that following her would be more dangerous, and she might even lose her life. But she is still willing to make this choice. If she really loses her life, adults will help her fulfill her wish. Although she followed the adults for that purpose in the beginning, in the past few years, following the madam, she has understood many things, and that matter is no longer the only purpose of her life. Under this situation, what she wanted most was to protect her wife and children. No, just the two of them stay with me. You all protect the child and keep the child safe. Su Wenyu shook her head and said without any hesitation. But madam. Qi Shen wanted to say something else, but was interrupted by Su Wenyu. No need to say any more, I have already decided. If you are really loyal to me, you will obey my orders. There is no doubt in Su Wenyu's words. As for the danger, she already made this decision. Put life and death aside. Su Wenyu knew in her heart that her hope of escaping was slim, and if she really escaped, those people would definitely target her parents and 3 children again. If she was safe, her parents and children would be in danger, so instead of letting it go, it would be better for her to have a little more hope of escape to give her children a little more safety. Yes, my subordinates and slaves will obey my lady's orders. Both Qi Shen and Qi Luo could see that Su Wenyu had made up his mind, and it was not something they could change by persuading them. They could only act according to Su Wenyu's wishes. Qi Shen even admired Su Wenyu's decision in his heart. Although he had never felt that there was anything wrong with his wife putting Master Su and his wife in danger for the sake of their children. After all, he was a subordinate of Han Yu. From the standpoint of the Han family, he naturally hoped that Su Wenyu and his wife would be in danger. The child was fine, but Su Wenyu made such a decision. Although he was worried, at this time he felt sincere admiration in his heart. Qi Shen was originally a member of the Jianghu, and the most important thing in the Jianghu was friendship. Although Qi Shen has now become Han Yu's secret guard, the essential things have not changed. Take good care of the children and take them to meet my parents, Su Wenyu said as she led 2 other female guards from Han Yu to line up beside her. Each of them was carrying a basket on their backs, as if they were carrying children. He seemed to be leaving in the opposite direction to Master Su and Qi Shen Kiluo, and looked at the child again before leaving. Ma'am, take care and pay attention to your safety. No matter what, the most important thing is to save your life. Even if you really fall into the hands of those people, the master will definitely find a way to save you. My subordinates will also take good care of the young master and the young lady according to the madam's instructions. Even if you risk your life, you will not put the young master and young lady in danger, Qi Shen said. Su Wenyu was very pleased. She could feel the respect and obedience from Qi Shen's heart. What Qi Shen said was what she wanted to hear most right now. Madam, you must be good. This servant will take good care of the young master and young lady, waiting for the moment to reunite with the Madam, Kiluo said with tears in her eyes. Su Wenyu nodded, then turned around and left with the 2 female guards without any hesitation. Qi Shen bowed respectfully to Su Wenyu, with a look of admiration on his face towards the mistress whom he had previously despised. At first, they thought that a businessman's daughter was too delicate and knew nothing about anything except being able to give birth. The fact that the master has given birth to 3 children is a credit, and they are only a little beautiful. There is nothing else to like about her. She often drags down the adults and makes them distracted by her. Su Wenyu's previous success in opening a shop was not really a big deal in the eyes of these heirs who had been trained as members of aristocratic families. It was just a little bit of cleverness. Now that I think about it, it makes sense for adults to value Madame so much. Not to mention Madame raising 3 children so well, her performance this time is really impressive. Only in times of crisis can one see a person's essence and courage. When encountering such a thing, Madame, a womanly person, not only did not get scared, but remained calm in the face of danger. She immediately came up with a response and took action decisively, even if she risked her life to keep the person safe. This is something that most people can't do, let alone a woman. Let's leave quickly, we don't have much time. Kiluo watched Su Wenyu leave and said to Qi Shen, now is not the time to delay. Qi Shen nodded, obviously understanding this. They couldn't waste Madam's painstaking arrangements, so they took the children and disappeared quietly into the jungle, saving the distance and rushing towards Mr. Su, his wife, and Feng's family. Go! Mr. Su and Mrs. Su led a group of people in a hurry, approaching the Feng family's sphere of influence as fast as they could escape for their lives. They were going well, but some minor problems occurred on the road, which forced the convoy to stop. What happened? Why did you stop? Mr. Su asked displeasedly. If he could get closer to the Feng family's sphere of influence at this time, there would be more hope of escape, although the old couple were already prepared to risk their lives. Preparation for life, but no one wants to die if they can survive, but at this time, there is nothing special about the situation. Mr. Su feels a little annoyed and impatient, and he is also afraid that those who are following him secretly will find something abnormal. No, 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 the madam and the young master are missing. What you fear will come true. The Su family was worried that those people would find something unusual and then go back to hunt down their daughter and grandson. As a result, this happened. A little maid who had been serving Su Wenyu suddenly screamed. Her words were full of panic and fear, as if she had discovered something extraordinary. She ran towards the Su family and said. The Su family was so angry. They naturally didn't think that the little maid was really panicked because she suddenly found that her master was missing. When his daughter left, he had told everyone. This little maid suddenly had this situation. It was obvious that she wanted to inform those people and reveal the news that his daughter and grandson had escaped. Shut up, the Su family said with a sullen face, and immediately had someone cover the little maid's mouth. Unfortunately, it was too late. Following the Su family, there were several martial arts masters with excellent hearing. They heard the little maid scream at the first time and immediately reported it to the leader. What? You said that Madame Han and her son were not in the carriage, are you sure? The leader was shocked when he heard the news, his face changed. The purpose of their trip was Su Wenyu and her son, but now they were said to have escaped. The higher UPS had given a death order, and if they failed to complete the mission, none of them would end up well. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Rebirth of a Farming Wife. Author, TNNI. Chapter 480. My subordinates only heard the little maid's scream. The carriage was some distance away. The carriage in which Mrs. Su and her son were riding had been silent since the little maid screamed. There might be something real inside. There is no one there, although the man in black was already 70% sure that Su Wenyu and her son were not in the carriage. Since he had not seen it with his own eyes, he could not say with complete certainty. Damn it, something must have gone wrong during the half-quarter of an hour they stayed on the way. I asked them why they stopped when they were fine. It turned out that they were secretly building a plank road in Chenkang and letting Su Wenyu and her son leave secretly. It must be the old man Su XX. The plan of the East-West envoy is really a cunning old fox, the leading man in black said bitterly. What are we going to do now? There is a death order from above. If Su Wenyu and her son cannot be caught, we will all be punished. Another man in black next to the leading man in black asked worriedly. What else can we do? Naturally, we should immediately chase Su Wenyu and her son back. What's the use of following these two old guys? We can't use them as a messenger, the leading man in black said angrily, his tone full of resentment and dissatisfaction. Resistant. But none of us saw anyone in the carriage. We just relied on the little maid's words. It may also be the old man's trick to deliberately deceive us and make me stop following. The mission failed, and none of these people could be bothered, so no one was hiding anything at this time, and spoke out their thoughts without hiding anything. It's not this, it's not that. What are we going to do, boss? or we just don't do anything and just deal with these two old guys first. A man in black was a little impatient. Said. Shut up. What a bad idea. The people sent from above haven't arrived yet, and we still want to compete with others with only our small manpower. Do you think this old guy is a vegetarian? Otherwise he wouldn't have such a reputation in the mall. Not to mention that the Su family is still separated from the Bayan Ho mansion, and there are still 3 pounds of nails in the rotten ship. Although the Su family is just a business now, who knows what other methods are hidden. When the time comes, people will not solve it, but they will first take care of themselves. Let's get in. Although the leader was anxious, he was still rational and knew that there was something to be done. The reinforcements sent from above had not yet arrived, so they could not fight head-on. Should we continue to follow and wait until the reinforcements from above arrive before taking action? No need. If you want to know whether Su Wenyu and her son are in the carriage, you don't have to fight with them. Just send someone to lift the curtain of the carriage and take a look, the leading man in black said, and sent several experts from the team over. Cooperate with each other to complete tasks. Master Su and his wife saw that those people hiding in the dark suddenly took action, and immediately made desperate preparations. In the end, the men in black just made a feint, making noises, and approached the carriage. When they opened the curtain of the carriage, they saw that there was no one in the carriage, and the companions said hello and immediately evacuated. Mr. Su and his wife were not happy about the dangerous contact. These people were clearly going for Su Wenyu and her son, so they evacuated so quickly when they saw that Su Wenyu and her son were not in the carriage. They must have turned around to chase them. Master, they must be chasing our daughter and grandson. What should we do? Ms. Su said anxiously when she saw the man in black retreating. Mr. Su was also worried at this time. He never imagined that he would be exposed so soon. He originally wanted to lure the enemy away so that his daughter and grandson would be safe. However, something like this happened. The culprit who caused this result, Mr. Su, had a serious look on his face and looked at the little maid who caused this result with a clear look. Tell me. Who sent you, and why did you deliberately reveal the whereabouts of the madam and the young master? You are not allowed to lie even a word, and you must be honest. Otherwise, don't blame me for being ruthless. The little maid was suppressed by Master Su's aura, and she was so frightened that she trembled. She felt really wronged. How could she have the courage to accompany his wife? Master, please don't get me wrong. I don't dare to betray you. I was just following my wife's orders. The little maid was afraid that the real Master Su would be angry, so she quickly explained the reason. What did you say? Is this what your wife meant? Mr. Su asked in disbelief. He didn't understand why his daughter did this. She was not joking about her own safety and the safety of her children, but after thinking about it, he understood the reason. I am afraid that my daughter has guessed the danger involved and is not willing to put the old couple in danger, so she arranged this. Thinking of this, Mr. Su was worried and anxious at the same time, but he felt a little conflicted in his heart. He hoped that his daughter and grandson would be well, but he was also pleased that his daughter cared about him and his old wife, but no matter what, I don't want anything to happen to my daughter or grandson. It was what the madam ordered when she left. This slave belongs to the madam. She only obeys the madam's orders in everything. This little maid was so loyal that Mr. Su was really angry and resentful. Looking at the honest little girl in front of him, he understood why his daughter had given such a task to such a little maid. Ms. Su also immediately guessed the reason why her daughter did this. Tears of worry flowed out. She kept wiping away her tears, feeling extremely worried and anxious. Master, how good is this? Yueniang still has 3 children, so she can't be a match for those people. What will happen if she falls into the hands of those people? Our silly daughter. If something happens to her and her children, what's the point of us 2 old people living? Although Master Su was worried, he was a man after all, and was calmer than Madame Su. Madam, things have come to this point, and there is no point in worrying. So, I will send a few people to take you to the Feng family, and the rest will come with me to rescue my daughter and grandson. Since my daughter made such an arrangement, there must be a reason. She should be able to hold out for a while until I go to rescue people. After hearing what Master Su said, the little maid spoke again. Master, you and Madam cannot go. This is the letter left by Madam. You will understand after reading it. What, Yu Niang also left a letter? Why didn't you say it earlier? Master Su was really angry this time. He glared at the little maid who didn't know the seriousness of the matter, snatched the letter that the little maid took out from her sleeve, and opened it immediately. After reading the contents of the letter, Mr. Su's face changed. Mrs. Su was watching from the side, anxious, and asked, Master, what did your daughter say in the letter? Mr. Su had no strength to repeat, and he gave the letter to his wife dejectedly, asking her to read the contents of the letter herself. How could he have such a stupid daughter? She was said to be smart, but she could come up with such an idea in such a short time. Rebirth of a Farming Wife. Author, TNNI. Chapter 481. But this act of disregarding their own lives clearly made them more worried as parents. As the old wife said, if something happened to their daughter, what would be the point of living for them, not to mention that their daughter was still here to save them? And in danger. Yu Niang, this stupid child, how can she be so stupid? As long as she and the child are fine and care about what we do, if something happens to her, how can we bear it? Mrs. Su looked at the content in her heart and whined. Started to cry. Mr. Su wanted to comfort his old wife, but this situation was obviously extremely dangerous. Even if he tried to cheat, he couldn't get through it. If his daughter escaped with the child, he would think that his daughter might have some hidden cards that he hadn't used yet. Can escape from those people. After all, the daughter values the 3 children more than their lives, and will definitely ensure the safety of the children. However, the daughter's arrangement is clearly risking her own life, using herself to lure those people away, in exchange for the 2 of them. Safety for seniors and kids. Mr. Su had always loved his little daughter, and the worry and pain in his heart was no less than that of his old wife. At this time, he really didn't have the energy to say anything more, so he just stood there dejectedly, seeming to be much older all of a sudden. Seeing Master Su and his wife like this, the little maid was frightened, and immediately thought of what Madame asked her to tell her. Madame asked Master and Madame to forgive her for her unfilial piety. If anything happens to her, please take good care of the 3 children. Her life is still important, and she can only rest assured if the master and his wife take care of her. Mr. Su was still holding back at first. He was a man after all. Even though he was worried and sad, he didn't act too rude. Now after hearing what the little maid said, he couldn't help it anymore and burst into tears. In the eyes of Master Su and his wife, although they also love their 3 grandchildren, no matter how important the grandchildren are, they cannot compare to the daughter they raised. However, they also understand what kind of temperament their daughter has. At this point, they can only rely on their daughter. I was told to do it. Madam, don't be sad. Since my daughter risked her life to save us and our 3 children, we can't let her down and let her risk her life in vain. This is not the time to be sad. We have to rush to Feng's house early. Contact Kilo and arrange the 3 children. If we can move to the rescue as soon as possible, we might be able to rescue our daughter. Mr. Su helped Mrs. Su up and said, after all, Mr. Su is not an ordinary person. Even in such a situation, he can still clearly know what he should do. Although there is a high possibility that his daughter will fall into the hands of those people, the purpose of those people is to he used his daughter to threaten his son-in-law, so his daughter's life was not in danger for the time being and she was still waiting for them to save her. What the master is saying is that our daughter's hard work and hard work cannot be wasted. We must find the 3 children immediately, place them in place, and send news to our son-in-law as soon as possible. In addition, please take action to rescue our daughter Mrs. so they are not ordinary women and children. When they understand, they immediately cheer up and cooperate with Mr. Su. But he said that Su Wenyu was rushing in the opposite direction to Mr. Su, his wife, and the children. Although he knew in his heart that he would definitely not be able to escape this time, at this time, he could lure those people as far away as possible. Occasionally, he would also deliberately create some false impressions. Delay the time for the enemy to catch up. Boss, that woman suddenly lost her trace. Where should we chase her? The group of them chased along the footprints on the road, but they stopped here. Look, the trees here were broken again, and they fled this way at some time, a man in black said. Not necessarily. Look, the grass over there is the same. There are traces of people trampling on it. Maybe disappointment escaped here. Another man in black also noticed something was wrong. This woman is really cunning. She deliberately created all kinds of illusions along the way, deliberately leading us to other places and delaying time. What are we going to do now? Should we continue to pursue him? If you ask such a stupid question, of course you have to chase them. They are just women and children. Even if they run away, they can't go anywhere. Let's divide the troops into 2 groups. You go to the left to chase. I will lead the people to chase to the right. If I catch the people, I will start chasing them. Signal, the leading man in black said, and rushed out with the people. Although he was sure that Su Wenyu and the child would not be able to run far, they could not relax until they caught up with them. Besides, Su Wenyu was too cunning in using all her methods along the way. Madam, what should we do? They are about to catch up. Chunlin, the female guard who was following Su Wenyu, said anxiously. After running all the way down, Su Wenyu was panting and a little overwhelmed. At this time, she stopped and looked at the 2 female guards with an apology on her face. She would not have let them follow her unless she had no choice. This time, she was not the only one asking for help. No, the 2 female guards might end up worse than her. After all, those people wanted to threaten Hanyu with her, but the 2 female guards were of little use to them. Maybe they would kill them if they caught them. Killed. Qialan, Kyohwai, I'm sorry, it's me who has caused trouble for you, Su Wenyu said apologetically. If it weren't for protecting the child, she would be afraid that she would run away alone and those people would be suspicious. After all, the traces of a person running away are different. And will not let Qialan and Kyohwai follow her. Madam, please don't say that. We do it willingly. It is a blessing to be with Madam. Madam has always treated us kindly. There is no better master. If we really can't make it this time, we will have to serve Madam in the next life. They are not stupid. If they had known what they would encounter if they followed Su Wenyu this time, they would still have asked for orders to follow them, and they had already thought about the outcome. You 2 silly girls, if you can be born into a good family in the next life, it would be much easier to be a lady. Why do you want to be a maid? You are so silly. Let's go here, separate from here, and each of us will flee in one direction. Maybe we can find a glimmer of hope. Madam. We want to leave, and we want to follow you. We want to protect your safety, Qialan and Kyohwai said in unison. Since they followed the madam, they had never thought about escaping, let alone leaving the madam behind to escape. They had never thought about it. The only belief was to protect the madam, even if it cost them their own lives. No, if we stay together, we will be caught in one fell swoop. We still have to separate. This will confuse the enemy and disperse the enemy's strength. It will not only find a glimmer of hope for you and find a chance to escape, but also for me. I hope we can still be together after this time, Suwenaiyu said, and ran in a random direction. Keelan and Kyohwai saw Suwenaiyu like this, looked at each other, and chose two different directions and ran away without looking back. Rebirth of a Farming Wife. Author, Tianni. Chapter 482. They can ignore their own safety and give up their lives, but they have to think about Madam. Even if they have a glimmer of hope for Madam, they will do it. This is what they were taught on the first day they were sent to Madam. Madam's safety was the first priority, so when they fled, they did not forget to create traces. It was best to lure those who were chasing them to their side, and Madam would be safe. The leading man in black led a group of people to pursue Suwenaiyu in the direction of his escape. Unexpectedly, he encountered the same situation again. This time the traces pointed in three directions. TNN, this woman is too cunning. She is repeating her old tricks and wants to use such tricks against us. The man in black couldn't help but swore. He had been followed all the way and was tricked by Suwenaiyu. Too many times, I went round, and finally caught up with someone before my eyes, and another problem arose. Boss, there are traces of people walking in these three directions. Which way should we chase? Do we have to chase separately? There are not many of us. If we separate again, we may not have a chance of winning even if we catch up. After all, then Suwenaiyu might be surrounded by experts. But if we don't separate, no one will know where Suwenaiyu is running and which direction we should pursue. The leading man in black suppressed his annoyance and carefully observed the traces in three directions. Suddenly a smile appeared on his lips. Let's go, let's chase this way. Suwenaiyu must have run in this direction. Boss, the traces here are the lightest. Shouldn't we chase where there are more traces? A man in black asked in confusion. Idiot, that's why we chase this way. Those two marks are so obvious. They must have been deliberately made to hide them from others. They just want us to chase in those two directions, so Suwenaiyu must be chasing this way. Escape, hurry up, let's catch up immediately, the leading man in black said and led his troops to chase in the direction Suwenaiyu had just walked. It was a mistake. If Keelan and Kyohwai knew that they had deliberately left more traces, it would be wrong. I didn't know how I would regret having exposed Suwenaiyu's whereabouts. Suwenaiyu didn't dare to stop and ran forward. She tried her best to run to the trees where it was easy to hide. However, her physical strength was not good enough. Running for so long was really too much. Then she heard a noisy sound not far behind. It was clearly that the group caught up with them, gritted their teeth, and increased their speed, but they were still noticed by the men in black. Boss, there is someone in front, a woman. Is that woman Suwenaiyu? Quick, catch up and take him down for me. The leading man in black followed a distance and saw him. His face lit up and he immediately had people surrounding him. Suwenaiyu knew that she would fall into the hands of these people, but she was unwilling to be captured like this. Thinking that her three lovely children were still waiting for her, she couldn't give up hope and wanted to fight without caring about anything. He ran forward, not caring about the direction. He ran forward as long as there was a road. He was already exhausted, but at this time he seemed to have forgotten his fatigue and ran very fast, magically extending the distance. Seeing this, the man in black chased after me. You bitch, stop for me, don't run away, you can't run away. If you continue to be dishonest, I will give you some clues if you fall into my hands. The man in black was chasing and threatening, and he was also yelling curses. Suwenaiyu could not hear anything at this time. One word was run. There was no feeling in his feet. As he ran, he felt that the road ahead was opening up. Further ahead is a cliff. If God wants me to die, I must die. This is what Suwenaiyu thinks of at this time. She has obviously exerted her greatest potential and there is still a glimmer of hope, but she finds that there is a dead end in front of her. Is there anything more tragic? Suwenayu only Neng stopped in front of the cliff. At the same time, the men in black were getting closer and closer, and when they saw the cliff not far away, they even let out a ferocious laugh, slowed down, and approached Suwenayu step by step. "You bitch, you look so thin and weak that you can still run. Just run. I want to see where you can go. Keep running." The man in black was also fooled by Suwenayu's previous teasing tricks. This desperate running method aroused his anger, and he looked at Suwenayu with an evil and teasing look. Looking at the ferocious face of the man in black and the evil smile like a mouse playing with a cat, Suwenayu no longer had any worry or fear. She just stood there quietly, watching the man in black approach step by step, her face calmer than ever before. Seeing Suwenayu like this, the leading man in black felt more appreciation. She is indeed General Han's woman. Her courage is not comparable to that of ordinary women. She can be so calm at this time. I am really impressed. Although the man in black has never met Suwenayu, he has heard the description above. But looking at this woman's appearance and demeanor, he can be sure that he is not pursuing the wrong person. "Are you people sent by Zhao Fan?" Although Suwenayu's words were questions, they were also somewhat certain. Although these people were all dressed in black, they looked like soldiers in their movements, and at this time, people will be sent to catch him, only a few of them. Mrs. Han's guess is good. "We were sent by General Zhao. We would like to invite Mrs. Han to be a guest at General Zhao's place for a few days. Please cooperate with me and don't put me in trouble." The man in black did not hide his identity. There was no need for this, but because of his respect for Han Yu and Suwenayu's performance, the leading man in black was quite polite to Suwenayu, but the threat in his words was still obvious. "Being a guest? That's nice to say. General Zhao and my husband-in-law are in different camps. They are considered to be mortal enemies. At this time, I am invited to be a guest. Is there such a treat? It is obvious that he wants to catch me and threaten my husband-in-law Suwenayu." He bluntly revealed what the man in black said, without considering whether it would anger the man in black. Seeing Suwenayu like this, the smile on the man in black's face became a little lighter, with a bit of danger and ruthlessness. "Since Mrs. Han knows, why does she have to say it so clearly? It makes me want to be polite, but I have always admired General Han's ability. If Mrs. Han cooperates well, I will not embarrass her." Suwenayu, however, did not accept this trick. She looked at the man in black sarcastically and sneered, "Humph, you guys are just pretending to be there. They are just despicable and shameless people. If you can't defeat my husband on the battlefield, you are doing this behind your back. It's such a shameful thing to do. You think I'm afraid of you and want to use me to threaten my husband. Not to mention the door, there's not even a window, so just give up." "Boss, why are you being so polite to this woman? How dare you be so harsh in our hands?" You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Rebirth of a Farming Wife. Author, Tianni. Chapter 483. The previous battle was too brutal. More than half of Zhao Fan's troops were killed or injured. Many of these brothers and friends died directly or indirectly at the hands of Han Yu. They were not as heavy as the leading man in black. Don't be angry. If you don't want to capture this woman to deal with the superiors, you would like to kill her to vent your anger. The smile on the face of the leading man in black disappeared, obviously because of Suwenayu's ignorance. "Mrs. Han, don't toast and you will be punished with a drink." "So what? Do you still hope that I will cooperate with you and let you use me to threaten my husband? Do I look so stupid?" Suwenayu's words became more and more sarcastic. "When things have reached this point, you think you still have a choice. If you cooperate obediently, you can suffer less. As long as your husband acts according to our wishes, Our master will naturally let you go and give you a way to survive. Maybe you can continue to be your general's wife, if not. You think I will believe your nonsense? Su Wenyu didn't even sneer, not to mention that she didn't believe that these people would keep their promises, and to do this was nothing more than betrayal. Han Yu is not a treacherous person. If these people use her to threaten Han Yu, Su Wenyu is not sure what choice Han Yu will make. In the past, Su Wenyu thought that Han Yu would definitely sacrifice her for his future and career, but now Su Wenyu could feel how she was, and she didn't want Han Yu to be in trouble because of her, or even get into danger to save her. What's more, Su Wenyu was already prepared for today's encounter. When she decided to lure these people away, she had already risked her life. It was expected that there was no hope of escape now. Boss, what do you have to say to this ungrateful woman? Just take her down. I won't believe it. She can still bring herself to death, a man in black said disdainfully, looking at Su Wenyu who was dying like this. The struggle was very impatient, and I felt that the leader was too polite, which made this woman think that she was going too far, so she could just take the person down. On this high cliff, there was no way to escape, and she could still fly. The man in black never considered whether Su Wenyu would jump off the cliff. In his opinion, these noble ladies and ladies had been trapped in the back house since they were young. They were just long-haired people with short knowledge who only knew how to have fun, waiting for men. My dear ones, all of them are bullies, afraid of the strong, timid, and afraid of death. How could they have such courage? Since Mrs. Han won't cooperate, don't blame me for being rude. The leading man in black lost his patience after being so exhausted by Su Wenyu and gave orders to his subordinates. Su Wenyu watched the man in black slowly approaching her, but she was not nervous at all. There was a look of determination on her face, and she smiled. Even though she was in a state of embarrassment, she looked miserable and beautiful. The leading man in black felt bad when he saw Su Wenyu like this. This was not the reaction of a helpless person. The smile was absolutely sad. He suddenly thought of something and just shouted, "Quick! Stop her, don't let her go." She jumped off a cliff. It was a pity that it was already too late. Su Wenyu was only a few steps away from the cliff. Seeing the leading man in black react, he came to the cliff without hesitation and jumped, leaving only one sentence, even if I am shattered to pieces, I will never let you have the opportunity to threaten Han Yu with me. Han Yu, see you in the next life. I am willing to be your wife in the next life. I love you." The sad voice lingered in the ears, the beauty was gone. Everyone present looked at the scene in disbelief. They couldn't believe that such a thin woman could be so determined and willing to risk her life to protect her husband and children. At this moment they really lost their contempt and hatred, and were filled with only admiration. Such a loyal woman, no matter whether she was an enemy or the wife of an enemy, deserved respect from everyone. Chi Yun led his people to chase him all the way. When he arrived, he saw this heartbreaking scene. "Madam, no. It's a pity that Chi Yun was also a step too late." This sentence was just shouted subconsciously and could not change anything. He could only watch Su Wenyu resolutely jump off the cliff, leaving behind a sad and beautiful voice. Chi Yun's heart was filled with self-blame and guilt. If he hadn't arrived too late, Madam would not have ended up like this. Although he had not delayed a moment from the Lord's order until now, if he could have been a few minutes faster, he would have been able to catch up. Before Madam jumped off the cliff, everything was different. Several secret guards who came with Chi Yun also looked at the scene in shock. To say that these secret guards have respect for the lady, but it doesn't stop there. It's just out of the attitude they should have towards the mistress. There was nothing left, but at this moment, she was in awe of Su Wenyu. Sure enough, the woman that the master could like was not an ordinary woman. She was so chaste and fierce, and would rather be broken into pieces than be threatened. Han Yu, who was watching the training of new recruits in the military camp, was about to give some advice when he suddenly felt a pain in his heart and staggered. The soldiers following him were startled. "Sir, what's wrong with you?" The pain came and went suddenly. The severe pain just now, when he moved his body, he felt fine and nothing abnormal. Han Yu just thought it was his hallucination, but he felt empty in his heart. The soldiers all looked at him worriedly. Han Yu shook his head. "It's okay. You can continue training." Although there was nothing wrong with his body, Han Yu lost interest for some reason at this time, so he returned to the camp, thinking about his wife and children, and asked the secret guard Qi Yun if there was any news from brother Qi Shen. Although Qi Yun was grief-stricken, he also knew what he should do at this time. He quickly set his sights on the culprit who killed his wife. If these people hadn't wanted to capture his wife and threaten his master, his wife wouldn't have jumped off the cliff. These people deserved to die. Qi Yun didn't even ask any questions, and directly gave the order to kill. Although the two sides had equal manpower, Qi Yun himself was a master. There were not many people in the daimyo dynasty who could beat him alone. His subordinates were all trained secret guards. He easily took down those people. In the end, only the leader in black was left alive, and the others were dealt with on the spot. After tying up the leader in black and throwing him aside, Qi Yun walked to the edge of the cliff, looking at the clouds and mist above and below, and the bottom was unseen. At such a high place, how could people survive if they fell down? The slightest bit of luck that existed before was gone. After falling from such a high place, the madam is in great danger. I can only hate that traitor Zhao Fan. He couldn't beat our master on the battlefield, but he actually attacked the madam and the child. It's useless to say anything now. The Lord loves the madam so much. If he knew that the madam jumped off the cliff, he would not be able to bear it. Rebirth of a Farming Wife. Author, Tian. Chapter 484. There are some things that even they cannot accept, let alone Han Yu, the person involved. Qi Yun only hopes that the adults will not be too sad and shocked by the news. After all, in this extraordinary period, if the adults are awake, the enemy will take advantage of it. What will be the consequences then? However, Qi Yun also knows that it is impossible to prevent the adults from grieving. What outsiders see is just the adults' love for the madam. It is normal for the madam to be young and beautiful and loved by the adults. What they see are superficial things. And they have been with you for so long, and they understand even more that you regard your wife as more important than their own lives. If something happens to your wife, they can't even imagine how you will react. But this matter cannot be hidden from your Lord, and it is impossible to hide it. Maybe the enemy will take the opportunity to find a way to attack you after knowing the news. You must be mentally prepared in advance. This is a natural thing. Besides, you should understand my Lord's temper. We must not hide anything, otherwise we will not be able to bear your Lord's blame. And now that something has happened to the madam, and there are 3 young masters, we must find the young master and young lady as soon as possible to ensure their safety and not let them make any mistakes again. Everyone knows that what Qi Yun said makes sense. They failed to arrive in time to save his wife. If something happens to the young master again, even if the adults don't blame them, they will have no shame in living. Let's see, let's split into 2 groups, and you immediately catch up to find Qi Shen. Qi Shen is not with the madam at this time, but must be with the young master. You follow up and protect the young master with Qi Shen, and escort them to within the Feng family's sphere of influence. The young master is safe. I took a pair of people to look for my wife at the bottom of the cliff. The cliff is so high, although the chance of my wife surviving is too small, but if I want to see a person or a corpse, I have to take my wife back and send her to the adults no matter what. Qi Yun did not go in person, not because he was not worried about the safety of the young master, but because Qi Shen was with the young master, and there was Kiluo, and he brought several good players from the secret guards, so the safety of the young master was not a problem. He had observed before when he chased them that most of the enemies were coming this way. However, Qi Shen and Qi Luo protected the children all the way and did not dare to delay for a moment to rush to the Feng family's territory. However, they took a detour and had to take care of 3 children, so the speed slowed down. Mr. Su and Mrs. Su arrived at the place Su Wenyu had agreed to. After waiting for a long time, they did not see their grandchildren. They were very anxious. As a result, instead of waiting for their 3 grandchildren, people sent by the Feng family to help arrived. Because Mr. Su sent someone to ask for help, the people of the Feng family did not dare to be careless. It was the head of the Feng family, Feng Ruolan's father, who personally brought the people here. Seeing that Mr. Su and his wife were safe and sound, they breathed a sigh of relief and immediately felt relieved. Come on, the situation mentioned in the letter is so dangerous, but it seems to be okay now. My husband and wife, it was a good journey along the way. After receiving your letter for help, I brought people over immediately. Fortunately, I was able to make it in time. I hope everything is fine, Mr. Feng said with a smile to Mr. Su, but saw Mr. Su Mrs. Hesu didn't look happy at all. Her face was filled with worry and solemnity, and that's when she felt something was wrong. Master and Madam, something happened. Did you encounter anything else along the way? If you have something to say, just speak up. If anyone dares to commit trouble on my Feng family's territory, I will never do it. I will forgive you. By the way, I heard that Yu Niang, mother and son also came together. Why didn't you see them? Master Feng looked around, but didn't see Su Wenyu, mother and son, and felt bad. My dear wife, isn't it because something happened to Yu Niang and her son? Mr. Su nodded solemnly and told Mr. Feng the whole story. He made no secret of his worries to Mr. Feng. That silly girl Yu Niang deliberately diverted us away for the sake of the 2 old people and the children. The people following behind are probably in the hands of those people now. There are also 3 children. They agreed to meet here, but they haven't shown up yet. I don't know if something happened. It's hard to find people at this time, for fear of missing them. Master Feng actually admired Su Wenyu's actions. He thought that the little girl who used to be willful and unruly was now sensible and did what children and parents should do. Don't worry, my dear madam, this generation belongs to my Feng family's sphere of influence. I will send people to look for them immediately and they will definitely find the 3 children. As for Yu Niang's place, if it falls into the hands of those people, we will have to in the long run. Fortunately, those people are still pointing out that the man who threatened Yu Yetu with Yu Yetu is not worried about his life. Don't worry too much. As long as Yu Yetu's life is not worried, we will definitely be able to find a way to save him. Mr. Su nodded. When the people from the Feng family arrived, he felt at ease. Mr. Feng seemed to have a rough and arrogant temper, but he was rough and fine. With Mr. Feng here, he was not a good person for him. With a little help, at least there is no need to worry about safety. The people from the Feng family were very familiar with this area. With the help of the people from the Feng family, they found Qi Shen and his party quickly and took the child over safely. These are Yu Yetu's 3 babies. They are really good looking. They are all plump and smart. They look promising. My sweet grandson knows that you are coming, so he is looking forward to it at home. Mr. Feng looked at the 3 children and said happily. After finding the 3 children, there was finally good news. I don't know what the situation is like with Yu Yetu. Feng Ruolan went back to her parents' home last time. Because Yiyang City was not very peaceful, she left her son at her parents' home and asked them to take care of him. If it were normal, Master Su and Madam Su would definitely be anxious to see their grandson. They had missed their eldest grandson after not seeing him for so many days. But at this time, they didn't care about this. Instead, they hugged the three brothers and sisters of seeing Geer in their arms and looked at them carefully again and again, with tears in their eyes. This was the one their daughter had to protect at the cost of her life. God protects you. Fortunately, you are fine. Your mother has to protect you at the cost of her life. You can't get into trouble again. Madame Su wiped her tears and said. Qi Shen and Qi Luo handed the three children to Master Su and his wife, and met Master Feng again. While Master Su was relieved that the children were safe, his heart sank even more. Especially when he saw Qi Shen, Master Su understood that this was the trump card that his son-in-law left with his daughter, but now that he appeared here, it meant that there was no one to protect his daughter, which was even more dangerous. Why hasn't mother come back yet? Did something happen? Seeing Geer asked immediately after hearing what Madame Su said.